All right, Ansley, thank you. The nation and world are mourning the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. The Plains-born farmer turned politician died Sunday afternoon in his hometown. He was in hospice care for nearly 2 years. Throughout his life, he traveled the globe, but never forgot his hometown and the home state of Georgia. Frank Malloy has a look back.
James Earl Carter Jr. was born in Plains, Georgia in 1924. The son of a spirited small-town nurse and a larger-than-life farmer who ran a country store and agricultural warehouse, Jimmy Carter learned the benefits of hard work. When he graduated from Plains High School, he went to a community college before joining the U.S. Naval Academy. 2 years later, he received a wartime appointment, serving on Navy submarines around the world. Carter's heart was in his home state, and his love was in his hometown. In 1946, he married Rosalind Smith, a young woman who grew up just a few doors down from the Carter family. After serving in the Navy, Jimmy Carter went back to Georgia and entered the world of politics. First, a victory in the state Senate, then a U.S. congressional race. He lost his first campaign for governor, but not the second time around. Wife Rosalind and mom Lillian tirelessly campaigned throughout the state, including right here in central Georgia. In 1970, Jimmy Carter was elected governor of Georgia, and the next 4 years gave him a reputation as a new kind of Southern politician.
I say to you quite frankly that the time for racial discrimination is over.
Governor Carter joined President Richard Nixon to honor Milledgeville native and powerful Congressman Carl Vinson on his 90th birthday during a ceremony at Mercer University in 1973.
5 million people of this state are very proud of Mr. Carl Vinson.
He was driven to make his own run for the presidency in 1976.
My name is Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
One of the forces behind his campaign and fundraising, Capricorn Records' Phil Walden. He raised more than $1 million for the campaign, with events like this fundraiser at Macon's Lakeside Park.
I always enjoy coming here to meet the superb performers in our country and their managers and supporting cast, but also because of my personal friendship with Phil Walden. He's a man who's meant a lot to our state and to our country. He's meant a lot to me personally and politically.
In the end, the man considered a Washington outsider won the White House. He began with an ambitious agenda. President Carter attacked the energy crisis, fuel shortages, and rising prices. He created the Department of Energy. And in 1979, he engineered the Camp David Accords, bringing peace to the Middle East, one of the greatest diplomatic achievements in U.S. history.
I was able finally to enmesh the two in a reasonable agreement that I think was very beneficial for both Israel and for Egypt.
Let us have 3 of us together.
Very good. Later that year, though, the most profound crisis of the Carter presidency, when Iranian militants stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage.
We're using every available channel to protect the safety of the hostages and to secure their release.
The ordeal lasted 444 days, ending hours after newly elected President Ronald Reagan took the oath of office. Word was just getting out of the hostages' release as Mr. Carter landed at Robins Air Force Base to return to Plains for the first time as former president.
Mr. President, what about the hostages? What about the hostages?
What time were they released? I couldn't be happier. Well, what time were they released, sir?
We're not supposed to say that yet.
Carter frequently landed at Robins on trips to and from Washington. In the final days of his presidency, he and Rosalind would walk over and greet the crowds. Even in the days after losing the election, Carter had visions of continuing to make a difference. Family friend and Warner Robins legislator Ed Barker predicted the path that guided the former president for the rest of his life.
I think he'll continue in an effort to bring about peace and to help his fellow man. He's always done that.
In 1983, former President Carter came to Macon as he worked to raise money and planned with local business leaders for what would become the Carter Center in Atlanta.
So a center for the resolution of crises or disputes that create serious differences between people. We're going to build in Atlanta, and it'll be a kind of a center where different universities and colleges in our state, including Mercer and Emory and others, can cooperate on major projects that are important to our country and to the world.
President Reagan was there with him as he opened the Carter Library and Museum on the grounds of the Carter Center in 1986.
For I can think of no other country on earth where two political leaders could disagree so widely, yet come together in mutual respect. To paraphrase Mr. Jefferson, we are all Democrats, we are all Republicans, because we are all Americans.
A gift from me and my family to the people of the United States in appreciation for the great honor that you have bestowed upon us.
Through the years, the Carter Center has worked with 38 countries to monitor and ensure fairness in nearly 100 democratic elections. The center also helped to eradicate disease in developing nations. And well into his 90s, Carter humbly helped build homes for those in need with Habitat for
We
Humanity.
deal with the generic term of human rights. Under that umbrella, obviously, the right of people to live in peace and the right of people to have adequate health care and to have their children survive are inseparable basic rights of a human being.
While Jimmy Carter made a lasting impact around the world, his heart and his home remained in Plains, near his birthplace. 13 WMAZ covered the 1985 Plains Centennial Celebration, as thousands of people swelled into town for a road race in celebration of the family who put the town on the map. A man that stayed true to his hometown and his home state, President Jimmy Carter, a global icon, a champion for justice, a dedicated public servant.